gentlemen, my name's Steps Basic, and please ignore the bright shining light coming off my top of my head. I couldn't find a hat. Which is funny, because I have like 5 billion of them. But anyway, that's not important. Welcome to my community show. I think I'm going to stick with that one. I like the way it just kind of rolls out there. It's great. It's perfect. Beautiful. Spectacular. So today, in lieu of writing us, in reference to the video game community, I am going to talk today about free-to-play games. Now, naturally, when you hear the word free-to-play, you're like, oh my god, that's awesome. I don't have to spend any money and I can play a game. That's great. It's perfect. Well, this sort of ties into the whole thing I talked about the other week about DLCs and loot boxes and whatnot. Did I talk about those? I think I talked about those. But anyway, that's where these games get their funding from, which is like, give or take. Now, if you've seen on my channel, I played a few of my free-to-play games, including Orcs Must Die, Brawlhalla, Paladins, and, of course, now one of my favorite games, Warframe. Now, these games are all free-to-play. You can download them off the PlayStation Store, and they give you characters, and you can go in there and play them, and that's what it means. Free, you don't have to spend any money. Literally don't. And some games are perfectly good like that. You don't have to spend any game or any money. Like Brawlhalla, for instance. I play that game a lot, and I get in-game currency, i.e. the gold, which I then turn around and spend and buy characters. Now, if I want to buy the luxury items, i.e. the skins, to make my characters look different from everyone else, that's where I have to spend actual money. Of course, I can also spend money to unlock all the characters right away, instead of grinding and getting them myself. And that's kind of what they do a lot in these bigger games, like Paladins, for instance, and Orcs Must Die, and of course Brawlhalla, as I'm just talking about it. You can spend actual real-life money to buy in-game currency, i.e. the premium tokens, which is kind of what you see a lot in these games, and you can just unlock all your characters without having to grind for them. It's lazy. On the other hand, there are some games which are free to play, but they load you down with so many microtransactions that you literally can't enjoy the game without spending money on it. And that comes in with the whole pay-to-win aspect. Now, Warframe is a little different from what I've usually experienced. Everything you can get in-game. I have yet to see anything that you have to pay money for. And it's really cool. You can get in-game currency, and you can unlock you can get a premium currency, i.e. the platinum, and you can unlock certain Warframes through the purchase of packs, like the Loki Mirage pack, which is like $89, with a lot of money. And everyone's like, what? Yeah, but you don't have to actually buy that, because you can unlock Loki and Mirage and all the primes and everything without spending a single dime, which is what I've been doing. And I've been going, it's a slow grind, I'm not gonna lie. But that's all the platinum would do, is speed you along. Now, there are certain games, going back to the thing I mentioned earlier called pay to win, where you will put money in and you can level your characters to max, or you can get special characters. EA took a big hit recently because they made certain like elite characters, although Battlefront's not a free-to-play game, but they put those in their little loot boxes, and you could pay money to actually buy the characters rather than spending the hours upon hours upon hours upon hours grinding towards them. But of course, Battlefront's not free to play. That's not part of this discussion, but that is a prime example of the pay to win aspect. Now, a lot of games that you play, Silence Phone, free to play, but pay to win, those are the ones you kind of want to avoid, because chances are you're just going to get really frustrated towards the end of the game. Yeah. And those are generally the ones that you see a lot of multiplayer stuff in, i.e., fighting against other real-life human beings in their avatars on the games, anyway. And, yeah, that's one thing I like about Brawlhalla, because you can spend the money to unlock all the characters, but all the characters are basically a baseline. They're no better than any other character. The only thing that makes them better is the way they look. And that's one thing I like about that. And so that takes away the whole pay to win aspect. So while you're paying to get all the characters, you're not paying to make yourself better. This is really difficult to explain. It's kind of weird. I didn't think this would be that difficult to explain because I can't think of a single you've seen me play a lot of the quick look games I play on my channel, i.e. How many times have I said i.e. now? My Marvel game and my DC game that I play, where you can pay money and get your characters more powerful. That's paying to win. Now, it's an incredibly slow grind if you want to play it otherwise. If you want to do like I do, because I don't spend any money on it, you'll get into it and you'll start with level 1 characters and you'll have to build your way up to the top of the ranks. Now, that doesn't in any way mean that you will never be top ranked character, because at the top max level, there's nothing above it. You can't like say, hey, I want my character stronger than everyone else. However, it does create a really serious unfair advantage if you pay to max out your characters. Because there's people like me who can't afford it, who just grind their characters up to max level. And even still, I'm not max level. And there have been people who have joined the game after I did and have played it and paid to max out their characters. So these people who have just joined are more powerful than me. And that is frustrating. It's annoying, and honestly, it's something I have always hated in games, in certain games. Hate's a strong word. I dislike it immensely. With a red hot fiery passion. That's not nearly as strong as hate. But that's one thing I kind of like. I always look for that when I'm downloading a free-to-play game. First of all, what's the PvP stuff? Is there PvP stuff? I got Warframe. There is PvP stuff, but it is not essential. You can get in, you can play PvP, or you can just do like I do and just play PvE, which is, player versus environment or player versus enemy, depending on who you ask. I'm pretty sure it stands for environment, but you never know. And that's one thing I like about Warframe, is that even if you're buying these upper level Warframes, you still have to level them up yourself. And you still have to make them more powerful yourself. You can't pay money, or at least not that I've seen, to make them more powerful. And the only person that affects is yourself. You're not paying to make yourself more powerful. You're not paying just to make yourself have an edge over the competition, because all I ever do is player versus environment anyway. And then there's, paladins. Now, yes, like I said, you can pay to unlock your characters. Pay real cash, buy the premium currency, unlock your characters, and then you have all the characters. But again, strengths and weaknesses have a deal. The characters you get are stronger, against some things, weaker against others, i.e., you have your tanks, your front lines, like I got Ashe. She's got really cool abilities, jumps up and immortalizes herself for a little bit, and she does her little explosion thing. I bought her. I didn't pay actual cash for her, but I paid in-game currency for her. And I like that character. And apart from that, you're just buying cosmetic stuff, clothes, outfits, guns, new hats, a nice fancy little chapeau. But where this one differs from Overwatch, whereas like Overwatch is not a free-to-play game, and the loot boxes all come with cosmetic items for your character and everything. Where this differs from Overwatch is that you can buy card upgrades for your characters. You buy chests, loot chests, and they give you card upgrades, which actually does turn around and make your character more powerful, i.e., the pay to win. However, I have not seen that affect the gameplay too much, which is kind of cool. But yeah, I've mentioned all the free-to-play games that I play, and you've seen them. And golly, I was not expecting Warframe to be as popular as it was, but danged if it isn't. But there's so many free-to-play games out there, and sometimes it's hard to judge what they are, whether or not they're a pay-to-win type, or if they're just a pay-to-play or free-to-play. And there's actually, I think it was Australia, ruled against a certain free-to-play game where they said that you cannot call yourself a free-to-play game because of the fact that people are bombarded by so many microtransactions all the time that it's just not enjoyable unless you actually pay money for it. And that leads us to the other topic I wanted to talk about, which was supporting the games that you like. Now, free-to-play games, they don't earn money based on people purchasing the copy. And with games like Warframe and Paladins and Brawlhalla, where they have to pay to maintain the servers, pay to develop new ideas, how do they get their money? Well, microtransactions. We were talking about pay to win. Microtransactions are the sort of things that lead to that. And do you want to support these free-to-play games? Now, of course, if you're playing Candy Crush, there's literally no point to paying to buy extra power-ups and stuff. I mean, you're gonna get there eventually, and if you don't, well, then you're probably not gonna enjoy the game anyway. Because literally it's an addiction in that way. You play Candy Crush, you get stuck, you buy the lollipop, you smash something, you win, yay! And then you move on to level number 2, and you're like, I'm stuck again. So you shell out a little bit more cash. And once, I actually felt bad for never buying anything off of Candy Crush. I have since stopped playing Candy Crush, by the way. But I felt bad because I never bought anything off Candy Crush. And then there was a report that came out saying they earned like $72 million. I'm like, yeah, I don't feel bad anymore. I'm never going to spend any money on your game. But there are other games that I would spend money on, i.e. Warframe. Because of how much I'm enjoying that game, I don't feel any qualms about spending any money on them because I want to support this game. I want this game to get better, bigger. I want more renown for this game because this game is awesome. Everyone should know about it. Of course, that also comes with the whole contrast of now that everyone knows about it, and you get the toxic players, and we don't like them. They're smelly. But anyway, that's really all I had to talk about. I just wanted to ramble for a few minutes, apparently, about free-to-play, pay-to-win, and supporting the games you love. Now, generally, when it comes to DLC stuff, I'm a giver-taker. I'll take some DLCs and I'll ignore the other ones. Sometimes I'll just go right out and buy the season pass. Like Final Fantasy 15. I bought the season pass because it's Final Fantasy and I'm a loyalist. But at other times, you don't want to buy those. You just want to pass on them so that the developers know don't put these sorts of things out. And the same thing goes with free-to-play games that force you essentially to buy microtransactions. Don't support these types of games. If they have a pay-to-win function, don't support the pay-to-win. Now, of course, this is just my opinions, and you can support whoever you want. That's just how I feel, and that's what I'm going to do. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this episode. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please go and poke that like button for me. If, of course, you'd like to, you can comment down below, and I will get back to you as soon as I can, when I can, if I can, all that jazz. And tune in next time when we talk about some more stuff. And until then, good night.